Welcome to a Matter of Mindset podcast. Joseph Carpe Diem putting in work from the AM to the PM. You know the vibes. I got a special guest with me, man like Rives.
How are
you, man?
It's the first time we're meeting on Clubhouse, isn't it? It's a vibe. It's a vibe still. I like this one.
How are you though? Everything good?
Boy, I'm good, man. Weather's terrible, but we move. You get me?
We move. Listen, we just got to piggyback quickly. There's no long thing. Just off the Clubhouse conversation yesterday,
Yeah. Come on.
We were talking about entitlement.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good conversation still.
It was a very good conversation.
And you said some good stuff.
Tried to drop a couple gems in there. Yeah.
Talk to us.
What do you want to know, man? What about entitlement?
Yeah. When did you actually realize that you were entitled?
When I jumped into music, and I think I was like 3-4 years in, and I think my first 2 years in music was like so good because the pioneering grime artist was doing pop. So this is around the time Tinchy Strider's killing it, #1. Skepta's doing tunes with Priya Kalidas and all of that stuff. So for like my class, it was easy for us to come up and just jump in and get in with like journalists and that because we filled a void for grime. There was no one in 010. It was a myth. Like it was like one of the lowest years for grime. And when we all just decided to come out, the timing was right, and we all just had a new energy. So I think I felt entitled because I'd seen so much success within the first 2 years. So I just always thought the minute I upload something, it will just get the radio spin. I ain't even got to send it to DJs no more. And then as time went on, you see things like Spotify become a new thing. SoundCloud starts to die out. The YouTube views that you was getting are now being quadrupled by some next young kid, and everyone's listening to different music and that. It makes you realize that, yeah, this is all happening now, but it's not going to be like this forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think it helped me understand that this music thing isn't by force. You get me? And I think a lot of artists can have this thing where it's like, yeah, you've got the right production or you've got the right people around you or whatever, but like if people don't want to listen to your music, they don't, and that's what's what it is. Like, so I feel like my entitlement situation was just more so me realizing that like I gotta get this chip off my shoulder. You get me?
Yeah.
Because if anything, it was weakening my let me find the word for this. I feel like me being entitled was weakening my mindset on what I really needed to do, and it was just making me hate things that wasn't happening. Like, oh, why does this DJ think he's better than man? And he should be playing my record because I'm sick. And you know what I mean? And once you have all of that around you, or you allow that energy to surround you, it just fucks up bare things. People don't start hollering you because they think you've got an attitude or an ego or whatever, and that stuff can come with it. So yeah, man, the entitlement thing, I feel like it's an ongoing thing that man go through. Like, not even in just music, just in life. You get me? I think there's always moments in time where you feel like entitled, but you just gotta get that off, man.
Yeah. Are you where you thought you'd be at this point in your life?
Bruv, I remember telling myself, at 30, I'm gonna have the mortgage, the yard, chilling with the wife and all of that. And I just watched myself get to 30, and I just realized all of my bridgings that was all in their 20s when we was living life, nothing changed, bruv. You get me? So yeah, man, it's mad. It's mad. It is actually mad now that I think about it. But I thought I was gonna have a lot more, just based off of because I said it.
Yeah,
it's happening. And sometimes you don't always put the right foot forward to do you don't always put in the work, but you feel like you deserve it because you've done work before, if that makes sense.
Yeah. What's motivating you to keep going?
You know what is motivating me to keep going? I would say hearing new music and seeing that, like, let me think of it, like, you see when you're younger, yeah, and you've got like your parents or whatever, and they've grew up a certain way and they tell you to do things a certain way, but you can come true and say, no, but like, why would you do that when you can just do this? And you can make them see sense in multiple situations. I feel like when I hear new music, I'm like, right, this whole time I was writing all these metaphors and I could have just said it in a sentence. So like I'm always learning from just listening to new music and seeing what everyone else is going through in their trials and tribulations when it comes to albums and stuff like that. You get me?
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good. No, because you say some insightful stuff, and I feel like
I feel like an old man, fam. I feel like I'm older than 31. I feel like I'm 64 of them because I feel like I've lived a long life, if that makes sense.
no, but I think the wisdom it comes around the late 20s, early 30s. I think that's when it comes still.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Tell them where they can find you on the socials because you do a lot of stuff.
Everything is literally Just Rival. JUSRIVAL. Like every single thing you could think of, I've just covered it with one at because I'm like, I don't want to do a million ats for everything.
Yeah.
Just find me on one thing. You get me?
Yeah. You do the podcast thing as well. So talk to us about the podcast thing and how you got into that. And
I got into podcasting, in the weirdest way possible. But like, I'm a proper wrestling fan. Like, I grew up watching wrestling my whole life. You get me? Wrestling is sick. You get me? Big up the man, them know all that wrestling. But like, do you know how weird it is trying to explain to people that you watch wrestling and you're a big man and that? Like, people are like, what? You still watching that fake shit? And I'm just like, fam, there's a million.
You know what? A lot of men are lying. A lot of men are still watching. Fam, a lot of
If-
men are lying.
If The Rock comes on TV, why does everyone know who my man is? Because you used to watch wrestling, fam.
Yeah,
You get
for
me?
real.
So, like, when I was doing night shifts in Tesco, I used to be a baker in Tesco. Terrible job. But yeah, I used to do that for like 5 years straight. And I was always getting tired of just hearing music in the night shift because I always felt like my life was already in routine.
Yeah.
And I'm just listening to the same music on Spotify playlists in rotation. And I was like, this is dead. So one day I was just scrolling and then I come across this mad podcast here. Chris Jericho, he does a podcast.
Yeah, I know about Chris Jericho's
Like,
podcast.
He was just interviewing bare people that like man grew up on, like, you know, like Earl Hebner, the referee, and
Yeah.
So when they're coming with their stories, I'm like, raw. Like, man are telling me about Undertaker and Stone Cold when Undertaker knocked him out for real in the ring, and then he's telling you about the match and how they covered it up and all. And I'm just like, raw, this is mad. So for me, it was just about like listening to things I enjoyed, and then the more I got into podcasting, I was like, raw, I wonder if there's any music podcasts. And then I found Rosenberg and what's the comedian's name? Two brothers from Hot 97 used to have a podcast.
Yeah.
And I was listening to their thing, and then they was interviewing people, and I was just like, they're not interviewing people for no 20 minutes. This is like an hour, 2 hours. This is getting me through my shift and that. Like, this is a vibe. And then Joe Budden's podcast popped up maybe a couple months later, and then that was just like, I was already set in. I was like, oh, this is sick. You get me? And then I saw there's a couple UK podcasts and that, but it was just, I don't know, like stuff you grow up on. Like, I grew up on wrestling, so my childhood, like, I was feeling like these childhood dreams by hearing these stories that I'd never heard of and finding about matches that man loved growing up and stuff like that. So for me, it was like, if this is all possible and I ain't got a rap, I would love to just talk to people, because on a regular day, how many people have conversations and it's never recorded?
Yeah.
So that was kind of like my entry into podcasting, man. But I love podcasting. I think it's sick. You get me?
Yeah.
It's proper. I love your podcast. I like your podcast. I listened to Morgs' last episode of a fast food podcast.
Yeah.
I try and listen to everything. You get me? Because when there's time, I don't really fling on the music all the time, because I just think it's just too repetitive. Like, I need to hear conversation and see what everyone else is going through. You know what I mean?
And I think when it comes to podcasts, I feel like you can kind of connect with the person better.
100%. 100%, man. You get to find out bare things.
Yeah, and I think for musicians, like, them doing podcasting is good, because like them doing interviews on like radio are cool and that, but the questions are all about music.
It's dead. So how did you first get into music? It's like, fam, been here 10 years. Like,
yeah. So it's like, if I actually know the person better, I'm more inclined to support their music. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
so I think musicians should get into the podcast.
Definitely, man. Definitely. And I feel like I like the music podcast that when you have like certain musicians, or you get certain people that are just like zoned into like what you're talking about. It's like, I could do a radio interview with like 5 different DJs, and they might not be informed on grime music. But when you find that person that is informed on grime music, the interview just makes way more sense. It's just a free-flowing conversation. It's vibes. It's, you know what I mean? It's just that sort of energy.
Yeah. No, I hear you still. What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Don't sleep, fam. That's the best advice I got.
I could have sworn we were talking about.
Yeah,
you.
yeah, we were talking about it.
Yeah,
still.
we were talking about.
Yeah,
this.
don't sleep. That's probably the best advice I got given, fam. I got given that advice by Gets. Like this is like 014, 015, same sort of time I'm doing the Tesco night shift and that, and like he would ring me in the day, bare active, like yeah man, walk on for the day, but I'm tired as fuck from the night. You get me?
Yeah.
But one day he was like, bruv, like you're gonna sleep through your opportunities if you're not careful, you know. He's like it's cool to sleep and that, but when you wake up, you've got bare shit to do still. Like you still got to make this music happen and then get back to work. So either you cut back on what your sleep thing and pattern up what you need to do and then rest, or you're just gonna miss out on bare opportunities. And one day I just sat down and I thought about it, like, and I was like, I wonder if I could do like some mad thing like 24 hours no sleep. You get me? And the first couple of times I tried, I just went sleep. You get me? But then after, like, people would ring you to go studio, and like people was ringing me to come to this place and that place, and I just realized, like, man, if I keep sleeping, I'm gonna be stuck in Tesco. But if I stay awake for just a bit longer, I can go somewhere else. You know what I mean? So for me, like, I love sleep. I love a sleep. You get me? When I get a Sunday, kick up her feet. You get me? But like, if I got shit to do, I'm not sleeping, blood, because the sleep is always gonna be there. It's there. Nighttime, daytime, it's always gonna be there. But my opportunities and chances to do things are limited. Yeah. So yeah, man.
Nah, it's sick. It's sick. I hear that still. Because listen, I can't lie. The sleep thing is something I need to work on still.
It's a mad thing, but you don't want to enjoy the bed too much, because the bed's already the bed you've really paid for. You ain't got to pay no bills on the bed. The bed's there. When you get out of that bed, you got to pay bills. How are you gonna do that if you're sleeping? Bill Gates can't sleep and just make money. You know what I'm saying? Fam. So I have to get up and work, fam.
Yeah, I hear that. What's the single biggest realization you ever had?
Single biggest entitlement. That was the realization one day. Like one day I remember like feeling like I started repeating the sentences that I was saying in my head to myself, and I thought, if this was one of the man them that tried to come and talk to me like this, would I give them direction and show them that this isn't the way to think, or would I just leave them? You get me? And one day, like, I just had like a million thoughts. I was like, for the longest time, I wanted a fire in the booth, blood. I thought like it was mad important that I got a fire in the booth, because I'm like, I've been in this one extra building a million times, and I've walked into this room with various other DJs, but I've never done a fire in the booth on that. How comes I done put in the work, you get me? I need this. And then, I don't know, like, I just heard how I was talking to myself, and I was like, you're moving mad, fam. Get out of this energy thing, because this self-entitlement thing, like, it's dead. It's only going to end one way. There's a million MCs, fam. Like, you can feel this way, but they're just going to move on to the next one, you get me?
Yeah.
So, it was that, certain fallouts I had with friends and that, and I saw like my wrongdoing in that sort of situation, and it was just a lot of entitlement, thinking that people owed me things for just little things that I'd done. I just thought like, oh, I deserved X, Y, and Z because of X, Y, and Z. But it's just that's not the best way to think, bro.
Yeah. You know, I'm not even gonna lie. After the whole entitlement conversation, I had to holler at my sister. Listen, I had to holler at my sister. I was like, yo, I have to apologize to you. She just sent me a question mark. And I'm like, listen, I can't lie. Yeah. There's been times where I've been moving mad entitled, where like just like asking you for favors and shit.
Yeah.
And she was just like, I appreciate you coming to me, but it's just like, listen, like, you can only rely on yourself. It's like real. as much as I'm here to help you, like, you can only rely on yourself. It's not that I'm trying to be difficult. Like, I'm just like, it was a good conversation still. So when I start the conversations, it's not just for everyone as well. Like, I need them as well, innit?
No, of course. I think we all need it, because we just live in a world, where like we're always just gonna glamorize the nice things. Like, we're gonna do the crepes, we're gonna do the holiday, we're gonna do the gal, we're gonna do everything's gonna look nice. But how many people are really gonna just like tell you about like, it's alright to be broke, you know, you can get out of this thing. I used to be broke too. Like, people are not really doing that, you know what I'm saying? Or like people are not holding up a mirror and looking at their flaws and opening that with the world. Everyone just wants to show off. You get me? So sometimes you think because everybody's showing off, this is like how you're feeling or what you're going through. It's weird, or like you're not meant to be going through this because this is what everyone else is on. But really, everyone goes through shit, fam. Like you could just, I don't know how to explain it. I've just thought things in my head and had conversations with the mandem, and then the mandem are like, I can't even lie, fam. Last week was a mad thing for me as well. And then from there, the room becomes calmer because everyone's opening up now. You get me? Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I've watched like bare of Gary V's videos, and he's just like
the realist.
The realist, fam. He's like, why are you so insecure? Like, why are you so insecure? Like, fam. The reason why you're so insecure is because you care about what other people think and stuff like that. And obviously, I've just jumped in this podcast creating thing recently, and I'm like, I've made bare mistakes, but am I not going to put out this episode because there's a mistake here, there's a mistake there? No, I'm going to put it out because the same way
it's content. The
same way I'm not perfect, the same way the other person's not perfect, I'm not always going to get it perfect every time. And I'm not insecure about my work, so I'm just going to put it out.
100%, man.
And you don't even need to put up a facade of being perfect to people that are not perfect. It doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. It's exactly that. And I feel like the more honest I was being with myself, people gravitated towards me more, if anything. Like I felt like it was, I don't know, man. I don't know what year it was, but I just remember one day saying to myself, ban out all this Instagram and image life, man. This ain't me, blood. I'm not even trying to do all this. Like, I've never been a photo guy. I don't even know how to take a picture properly, you get me? But I hate pictures, bro.
You and me both, bro.
You get me? But like, one day I was just like, I'm just not gonna do like what everyone else is doing. I'm just gonna go the long way because this is dead. Like trying to be where everyone else is and functions, and it's dead. And then the more I did that, the more blessings I saw. You get me? So I don't know what the message is. I'm still trying to figure it out. But yeah man.
So I take it you don't have a fear of missing out.
No, I miss out on everything. I like my bed, you know. I told you. Once my work is done, where I've got to do work, I'm in my bed, fam. I don't mind missing out on a party or whatever, fam, because it's a party, it's a dark room. Yeah, I'm cool. Yeah, man.
You know what? I looked into like the fear of missing out and stuff like that, and I said the fear of missing out is kind of heightened when you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Exactly. You just want to be where everyone else is at.
You hit the nail on the head there, fam. You feel like you're missing out when nobody's doing nothing. No, when you're doing nothing and everyone's vibing and that, you feel like, I should be over there. But my mentality is like, I don't want to be over there with nothing over here. Like, if I've got nothing that I'm doing right, or I'm trying to fix or realign things to be perfect, like, I do music and I make podcasting and all this stuff, but like, I'll never put myself in a position to be around a bunch of people that are doing things and I'm here still trying to figure it out because I'm just going to feel awkward in the room. So I'm not really missing out on nothing because it's like, you can go to an award show tomorrow, but you're not nominated. You get what I'm saying? So like, why are you there?
I hear you still.
Like, I hate when you see you see bare people like, why are you there though? Like, it's not free promo. Why are you there?
I hear you still. But I do think like when you're actually doing something, like being productive with your time, you actually add value to circles that you put yourself 100%. In. But if you're just trying to follow the crowd and just to say that, oh, I was there when this happened, it's not really a fulfilling life still.
Fuck around and be someone's wingman with that attitude. Yeah. Get me?
Fam, you know what's funny, Fam, there was one time I think you just joined Clubhouse, and you were like, I could never be what's Busta Rhymes' sideman's name?
Split Star.
He goes, I could never be Split Star. Fam, I was busted up.
Split Star's probably happy with his check. He's good. But that's not me, bro.
He's like, I could never be a Spliff Star to Busta Rhymes' pattern, and I was laughing my head off.
It's a myth, fam.
I hear
Busta Rhymes is who Busta Rhymes is, you get me? Spliff Star is the light-skinned brother that stands next to Busta Rhymes. That's not me, fam. Yeah. I can't be that, man.
It's the mindset,
100%.
It's literally the mindset, bruv. And I've spent like, I'll say like 2014, 15, it's been like a continuous journey to work on my mindset. Like, I'll look at something wrong, I'll be like, what? Like, I'll look at a situation, I'll be like, my mindset is wrong somewhere. Yeah. Like, when I learned like the importance of accountability, it changed my life, because like, when you're always blaming people for stuff, what you're essentially saying is you're not in control of your life.
And you look like an idiot, because I've been there before, fam, where I'm just blaming everyone else. One day I was like, it can't be everyone else. there's no way man's just going through life and everyone's just doing me wrong. What am I, Jesus? Come on, man. Like, it's not like that. It's not like that. You have to take accountability for fuck ups and the way things go. Sometimes you might not be all the way wrong, but you won't always be right in the situation. You know.
But I think even when we're adults here and we're doing stuff willingly, a situation can't go wrong and be like, you know what, I have no part in this. You know, when you've actively played a part in some way, shape or form. More times, I'll just say it's my fault. Because somewhere it probably is. Yeah. And when you actually know how to hold yourself accountable, you can actually be like, you know what? I done this, where I could have done this. Yeah. And there doesn't need to be all this ego and this tension, because when there's just two however many people just arguing saying, oh, it's not my fault, it's your fault, it's just bare tense. It doesn't even need to be like that. Yeah.
It's true. It's real, man. It's real.
No, I hear that still. I hear that. What's one thing you wish you would have known by 21?
How deep you want to go?
Go as deep as you need to.
What is one thing that I wish I knew before I was 21?
Known by 21.
By 21?
Yeah.
There's no rush to success is definitely one. And you ain't got to have sex with every girl, fam. I thought like by 21 I was wilding. You know what I mean? I feel like I was wilding, and when I look at like how some of my friends' situations turned out, they've got youths now. You get me? I'm blessed in a situation that I've been. I ain't got no youths yet, but like I'm blessed in a situation that I was able to go for my thing in the music with no like attachment or setbacks.
Extra responsibility.
Like, when I was younger, we was just wilding. That we didn't know kids exist. You know what I mean? So I'm blessed in a situation that like I've been able to see 30, and I'm just in a situation where I can just put all of my eggs into music. I don't have to think about looking after you, and like, you know, when there's this certain life situations that will slow you down from doing what you want to do versus what you have to do. Like for me, I feel like before I was 21, we wasn't deep in how life really goes. Like we was living like the world was ours. You get me? And it can be a mad thing if you let it be a mad, or not if you let it be a mad thing, because it can be a mad thing if you indulge in all of the things that you know you shouldn't be doing too much. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, I hear that still. But yeah, when I was 21, fam, I was wilding as well.
Everyone was wilding.
Wilding.
I was wilding, fam. Look at the random in the room. They know, fam. Because you know, you think about 20 back in my day. That's what I'm saying, fam. You have to remember, when I'm 20, 21, this is what, like, is this BlackBerry? Is it BlackBerry time 2021? Because I'm 31 now. What, 10 years ago, is it BlackBerry?
11.
11?
I've definitely had a BlackBerry. I definitely had a BlackBerry when you went.
Might have just been just before BlackBerry, you know.
Yeah.
BlackBerry was maybe like 2012.
No,
Yeah.
BlackBerry was 2011.
2011, fam.
But
like,
on the iPhone 14.
Yeah. So
I feel like I had both, to be fair, at the time. So it was either like, I remember BlackBerry Curve, BlackBerry's,
and the bold, you know,
Yeah.
the bold was serious, you know.
With the rolling button in the middle, yeah.
But like,
From like 09 to 12,
so
definitely BlackBerry though.
yeah, so them times there, just wilding. It was like the new MSN, innit? So you're just chatting to everyone you can.
Yeah.
But really, what's the point? You're not gonna see half these people, and none of these people are gonna help you. You know what I mean? In all of the stations, in all of the times that I was wilding, I don't think one girl helped me with my music. You know, like in the sense that like some were DJs, some was journalists, some they didn't help me in music. So what was the point? You know what I mean?
Yeah. You didn't see a long term. You did not see a long term future with any of them.
Nah, man.
You were 21.
I was 21. I was 21.
You're 21, fam.
You know what? I've been in love in my life, though. I've been in love in times in my life, but no, I didn't see in my wilding days. I didn't see no potential in nothing. I wasn't thinking about that at all. Like, I was just wilding.
I hear that still. What simple changes have you made to make your life better?
Stop wilding. No, now I feel like I've got everything in my life now. You get me? Got my missus, got work, music's on this. It's slowly getting back into what it used to be. So I feel like I've got everything I need. So I'm just calm. Whereas when I was younger, there was this fascination of being on road and grabbing things that you just feel like you I want this, blood. Man's gonna give me this, blood. Whereas now, like I'm so calm and relaxed with my life, bro, because I don't know, man. We're just reminded every single day, bro. We're blessed to be alive, bro. I feel like every single day, there's always something that will just make me say, you know what? Thank God I'm here and I'm in a good situation. So
Yeah.
Just a lot more calmer, especially when you get older. You just calm down naturally, anyway.
Yeah,
man.
Nah, I hear you. One simple change that I made to make my life better was just try not to overcomplicate things.
Yeah.
We love to overcomplicate things, but it's like, okay, like a simple thought process would be like, how important is this thing that I want to give my energy to right now?
Yeah.
If it's not important, it can go on the back burner. And just stuff like that. Whereas before, I would feel like I'd have to do everything and
everything. You're just everywhere, accessible to all the people there, man. Yeah, man. When you get older, you ease up on all of that stuff, man. And especially when you go through certain experiences as well. You don't really want to do all of that stuff, man.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask, like, obviously you've been very like transparent about like your entitlement and stuff like that.
Yeah, man.
What failure in particular did you learn the most from?
There's been a few of them still. There's been a few failures, but I think failures in between. Probably putting music out with an expectation and then seeing that it didn't go that way. Yeah, probably. Yeah. I will say, yeah, just the expectation of putting music out thinking you're going to get a result and then getting a completely different result. Like, it humbles you differently. Like, you're like, raw, people ain't even checking for me like that. Like, it just humbles you to find, for me, I found the original hunger and why people fuck with me, you get me? Like, through all of those trials and tribulations. Whereas when I felt like, yeah, man, I was flinging this out, it's calm. Like, there was like a cocky attitude almost with it. Like, I'm happy, like, we don't live in like, I'm happy I'm at a stage where I can like reassess these things now rather than if I'm a platinum selling artist and I'm trying to make them go platinum again and then it don't happen. Because that's a whole next.
Yeah.
I'm wilding if that happens for me, get me? But like, at this level, I don't know, man. It just allows you to see that like, all your ideas might be sick in your head, but it's just not for everyone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
I think that's something you learn as being a creative still, because when you're in creative and you're in the moment, you're thinking, you know what, this is sick, like this is sick. But when you put it out there and you put it for public consumption, not everyone's gonna receive it the way you think they will.
Yeah.
Because they haven't got your insight.
Exactly.
And I think that's why for me, like, it's important to kind of be there. Like, when I went to watch Morgan's podcast the other day, I think me seeing the process of them actually doing it made me appreciate it more. Whereas if you're just a consumer, you're just a consumer. Yeah. So, nah, it's good, man. It's good. It's
real,
good.
Man.
You see the entitlement.
I can tell it's on your mind.
Fam, it's on my mind, fam. I didn't even think it would hit me like that, you know, because I made the room about accountability.
Yeah.
And I said, on the opposite end of the spectrum is entitlement. So let me just make a room about entitlement.
Yeah.
And I just thought, fam, I literally ended the room and I'm thinking, bruv, why am I still talking about entitlement, bruv? Because it hit me. I'm thinking, I remember being super entitled. Like,
I think we've all been there, man. I think everyone's there. I think there's always going to be a situation in your life where you feel entitled, but it's just sometimes you've got to just take a step back and just say, do I deserve this based off of what I'm thinking in my head? Yeah. You know what I mean?
And even the saying, check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Oh, yeah,
it's
100%,
it's very applicable.
Because you'll wreck yourself, fam. You know what I mean, fam? You will. If you're you just can't walk around with that God complex every day, because that's when I hear entitlement, that's what I kind of think of. Like, I think, God, you must have a God complex, because why do you feel like everyone deserves, or you feel like, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, the question that I was asked here was like, do we deserve anything?
Yeah, and I said no.
Yeah, I said no.
I said no immediately.
I said no, fam. But
then there was an argument.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And people are like, no, but like, obviously, if my boss and the contract, and I'm just there listening to this conversation, I'm like, this has nothing to do with entitlement. But you know what I'm saying? Because you can always bend a word to make it suit your agenda.
Yeah.
But is that the same word? Is it the right word? Like, you know what I mean? So like,
I said the definition like 3-4 times.
Someone put it up on the picture. People are still talking about dating. Like, if I saw this girl and I was on the bus, and I'm just like, bruv, it's not entitlement, fam. Like, I get the example that everyone was using, but like, nah. But that's Clubhouse, fam. Yeah. That is Clubhouse, fam. It's opinions on opinions, and nobody is all the way right. But we try and meet each other in the middle at some point. You get me?
My thing is, I just like to listen to people just to understand them. But it's just like, bro, like, you're not getting it. Like, because you don't want to get it.
It was getting wild in that room
yesterday. It was getting wild, bro.
I was bunning my zoot just thinking, right, let me get out of here soon. You get me?
It was getting so wild. But I think I'm going to do another room, yeah? And my next room is going to be on confidence.
Yeah, fam. You should weekly do this, fam, because we need that shit, fam. I'm tired of the rooms where you walk in and everyone's talking about, so if you're dating this girl and you got to pay for the milk, bruv, shut up, bruv. Bruv, shut up, bruv. Because this is the truth, yeah? When you fall in love with someone, you take them for who they are. That's just how you fall in love with someone. You didn't fall in love with them paying for the meal, and you didn't, like, it's just madness to me, fam. The conversations that happen in Clubhouse and how people think that dating is supposed to happen. Oh, I won't entertain a guy or a girl that do da-da-da-da-da. So, but really, you're just blocking your chances of finding someone that might be alike with you, and you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because it's easy to talk in hypotheticals still.
Yeah, fam. With love, you never know when you're gonna find. You never know where that person is. You get me? Or the situation that you might find yourself in.
Yeah.
So all of these hypotheticals sound cool, but it's dead really, yo. You get me?
Yeah, definitely.
But I just let everyone enjoy their single life on Clubhouse. I'll just be sitting there, fam. You know what I mean, fam?
Yeah. You seem like you've worked on your mindset a lot, yeah? How have you applied that to the music?
Just listening to music. Like, just taking a step back to just not, like, jump in the studio because I've written one or two things, but just listening to music, whether it be new or old, just seeing how people was dealing with rollouts and just ways to make a project seem more important, and just there's certain things you can do to make people gravitate towards you. And I just felt like all of the people that I looked up to had that potential, but like I'm still trying to figure that out for myself. So I don't know. It's like revision almost that I was doing with music. Like, I was just listening to albums and just trying to gauge an idea of what I wanted to do differently. You know?
Yeah. You know, one thing I realized as well about myself, I wasn't working smart enough.
I think that's something we all realize.
I wasn't working smart enough.
Yeah.
Like, I want to get my podcast out there to other people and just in general. And I'm thinking, am I networking with podcasters? No, I'm not.
There you go.
So, am I networking with podcasters? Am I even networking with general people?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm just here, just
trying to make something lift off the ground.
Yeah.
And you need way more legwork and things to. It's a crazy one, because I think we all realize that. Like, my first year and a half with music, no lie, I might have put out over 100 records, fam. Like, features included in that. Like, but nobody told me that. You know, you could just like link up with the DJs and you won't have to go through this shit. Like, you won't have to put out 100 records. You could put out like maybe 1 or 2 and then get played on the radio and then get to the money, rather than. But that's how it goes sometimes, man.
Yeah. But do you feel like people don't tell you this stuff because they want you to learn it yourself? Or do you just feel like...
I think everyone's scrambling, fam. That's what I think everyone's scrambling. Like, Clubhouse lets me know everyone's scrambling, and it if anything, it lets me breathe a bit better. You get me? Because I'm like, everyone ain't got it together. This is good. I needed this for the soul today. Everyone's scrambling. No one's got the fucking answers, fam. How many millionaires do you know on Clubhouse, fam?
That's true.
You get what I'm saying, fam? We ain't got the answers. Everyone's still working. Everyone's still trying to get to their dreams, their goals, and that. We ain't got the answers. We're still scrambling, and somehow, I don't know. We all link up scrambling together sometimes. It's weird, like, but everyone ain't got the answers, man. People have got advice and gems, but we're all still trying to get to where we need to. So it's mad.
I think that's one thing. Like I tried to tell myself, like when I say something, it's not gospel in it. When I say stuff, like, it's my perspective in it.
Yeah.
Don't take what I'm saying as gospel in it. And I'm learning the same way you are. We all have the same lessons to learn.
Yeah.
So it's not a case of not having. It's about not appearing perfect, as we said. Like,
exactly.
There's no harm in not appearing perfect. Like, no one is perfect out here.
Yeah.
So it's all right to not have all the answers.
Exactly.
And that's kind of one thing I wish I knew when I was 21.
Yeah.
Like, when you're young, you feel like you have all the answers.
Feel like you got it in the bag. You're
But-
like, Mum, don't worry, I got this. I know what I'm doing.
But-
What? Doing the mad thing, putting the kitchen knife in the bag and trying to... I used to do weird things there that now when I look back, I think, why? Like, just why? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they say it's maturity when you grow up and stuff like that. But what is it that they call it? Like, when you start to just... like figure out that like you need to move a different way and you just learn how to just...
Are you talking about wisdom or discernment?
It's not wisdom per se, but just more so like what's that word that from 21 to 31 you grow up and everything's good and that, but like how do you...
Oh, what, you just learn to navigate? Is it navigate?
Perspective.
Yeah. So,
Perspective.
yeah, I would say it's perspective, but it's also like, I don't know if it's one day you just sit down and you realize that you need to do certain things, compartmentalize maybe.
I'd say perspective. Still.
Yeah, like, yeah, well, let's say perspective.
Yeah.
But like,
perspective, obviously, where you view things from. So, as you were saying, if you were gonna view things a certain way, as you're looking at maybe from an older perspective, like what I'm doing is not necessarily gonna benefit me when I'm older.
yeah,
So let me change how I'm moving. That's
Exactly.
Yeah.
perspective on how you view things.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I've gone through a lot of that in my life consistently, and I feel like maybe more because of the music. But like I've gone through enough of that to just know that you ain't got to do everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, life is a strange one, fam. It's a strange one, Joel, fam.
Nah, you know what? It's not even... It's strange, yeah, but I feel like... I don't know, man. Like, when you humble yourself, I feel like you learn lessons easier.
Yeah.
Because you're in a humble state of mind. Like,
Because you're not being stubborn.
Yeah. When you're stubborn and you're being egotistical, you think, I know it myself. I have all the answers.
Yeah.
All this. When you're humble, it's like, you know what? I may have this idea that I want to push or whatever, but I know that I'm going to need help pushing this idea.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong about knowing that you need help.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? But when you're in your ego, you think asking for help in whatever
Is a
capacity
weakness.
makes you vulnerable.
Yeah.
And it doesn't.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
It's real.
And it's like, people know that you need help. And I'm not saying that just people in general, but if someone kind of needs assistance, they kind of know that they need it, innit? But you have to just be humble enough to ask, innit? Ask and you shall receive.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But you have to know yourself that you need help, innit?
It's just hard when you just live. The world we live in now is just, it's just hard because social media is such a big thing and everything is just always publicized and made to look like it's sick. You get what I'm saying? It's harder to realize that everyone needs help in this sort of like social media era where everyone is just trying to show you, I've did it, I've done it. Like, how many times I've gone on Instagram and everyone knows this picture, fam. Have you ever seen you go on Instagram, yeah, and you just see someone put their keys in their hand and they're like, yeah, I just bought my first house at 21.
Yeah.
Bruv, cut the shit, bruv. What do you mean? Like, let me know how you did it. Don't just show me the keys and hand. And you know what I'm saying, fam?
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it's just too much.
Yeah.
We have more of the this is the final product than, oh no, this is how I got there, and this is what I had to go through to get there. You get me? So
because the process is not glorified, it's always the results, innit?
exactly.
But it's the process where you learn everything.
It's the process that makes you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man.
Definitely. What, like, you seem like you're very like in a good place. Like, what's the secret to living a good life?
Weed, blood. Come on, fam. You know my thing, fam. You know, I'm about to buy some after this, fam. What you mean, fam? Fam, do you know what used to happen, yeah? You get me? Come on. Do you know what used to happen when I was... It's real, but do you know what used to happen when I was younger, yeah? I'll show you the first example of me and weed now. When I was younger, yeah, I used to be a hothead. And I was always like, what, beef, yeah? Cool. We're there, we're rolling, you get me? And I remember one day, yeah, I was just in my house, fam. And this wasn't even weed. I just hit the cigarette, fam. And before the cigarette, we was meant to go to beef. After the cigarette, nah, we'll deal with that tomorrow. And then I was like, I wonder what weed feels like. Fam, the first time I had beef and I smoked a zoot, I felt like I squashed it. I felt I felt like it was squashed. I don't know what it was, fam, but like, it just lightened the load. It just let me relax, and it just let me just feel like I'm calm. I was just calm. Music was vibing. The incense was just a vibe. You get me? And I don't know, man. It just helped me stop feeling so stressed. You get me? I'm a stressy you under pressure, fam. So I have to bun the zoot to just relax me, fam, because you just don't want to be stressed and worked up, and then you just find yourself in that entitlement and all them things there. You get me? The minute, like, for me, I could feel entitled. Bun a zoot, I'm cool, man. Everything's calm, man. It will happen when it happens. You get me?
I hear that.
I'm not encouraging it, but I would say, you know, if it's around, you got a friend, or you get me. You get me? No, Stardog is killing the people. There, we have to allow that one there. But if you got a look, like, for me, I'm older now. Like, I don't really bun skunk because it just gives me a headache, fam. It's too much strands and strains and Cali hair and this one here. Just give me the grade that the Rasta man smoke. That's what I want right now. So that's what I'm on. I just one grade, and I'm just easy with it, fam.
I hear that.
I hear that. Look at reggae or something. You know what I mean?
I hear that. What's your most valuable skill?
I'm listening to the conversation. I say wisdom. I feel like you've kind of lived a lot. Like,
yeah, I feel like
even just for this conversation, just hearing on the
no, go on. It's fine.
Go on. It's calm.
Just hearing on the back burner, it's like I feel like you're very wise right now. Like, you have a good kind of like scope of your life and how it's been, and like you kind of added and subtracted.
Thank you, man. I'm trying.
What you need and what you don't need.
Yeah, but it's just
forward.
With that. Yeah, it's experiences you go through. Experiences. Yeah. So for me, I would say experiences I've been through, I'm able to just tell people, like, it might not go how you think, you know. You get me? I've been in mad situations. I've been rushed. You get me? I've had upper hands, and I've definitely had the lower hand, fam. And I can tell you that if you go in, I can show you both directions and which way. So I would say experience, because I just feel like I've been here for a really long time. By the time we're lucky that we grew up in the era just before the internet. So I would say most people that grew up just before the internet was like sick. Like, if you grew up on, like, in my school, I remember the first Macs with the red back off and all that stuff, floppy disk and just playing on solitaire and all that. So, like, man know a life outside of what everyone gets caught up in. So I feel like that helps me just be more relaxed with dealing with the internet thing, because I just know that it's not really that.
Yeah. And I ask, what book has had the biggest impact on you as a person?
Impact Equation. It's a book by a guy, is his name? Something Brogan. I can't remember the brother's name, but it's such a sick book. It's called The Impact Equation, and the front cover, it said, "Are you making things happen or just making noise?" And I don't know what it was about that, but that has lived in my head for that nearly 5-6 years now. Like, and I remember before you even got to the first chapter, you have that little the prologue sort of thing where they're talking about, like, bigging up whoever, and they give you like this little chapter, and it was like, you can either be the head of lettuce or you can be an apple tree. So the head of lettuce, you could be the head of lettuce, that's cool. You can make salads, you can have vegetables, all that stuff. But when you're an apple tree, I can make fruit, cider, juice, and the book allows you to realize how many things you need to be doing, and just having a different mindset, like a whole different mindset. Like, it's not just about being here. You gotta get in where you fit in and make shit happen. Otherwise, it's just a myth. You get me? Yeah. So that book changed everything, because after I read that, a week, like, No, I didn't even finish it. While I was still reading it, I thought of an idea. So the idea was, my next single, I need to have a Vivo account and I need to be verified on Twitter. I did all of those things. I'll explain the verified Twitter why I'm not verified anymore. It's a terrible story. But yeah, like, so got it done, then released the single. 3 days later, I was sitting in the Universal building talking about how we're gonna see what we can do with this money for this single and that. Like, so I do believe that, like, that book helped me, because at the time of me reading it, I didn't grasp that, like, are you making things happen or are you just making noise? Like, it was just always a thing. I was just like, raw, like, am I just an MC or am I making things happen as an MC? Like, I was just thinking about it for time, and I was like, I've got a sick idea. And then the book just made me think about bare things like that I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it differently and stuff like that, man. So yeah, The Impact Equation, I advise everyone to get that book, because that book is sick.
Nah, sick, man, sick. Nah, rival ass. It's been a good conversation, man. You got some good insights, some good wisdom.
On, man. I know, you get most people say 48 Laws of Power and all that.
Yeah.
Like, that book's cool, but it's not the be all end all. There's so many other books. Even Mastery is probably better than 48 Laws of Power. It's by the same Robert Greene, yeah. But Mastery is like the one after. You should check that one out as well.
All right, cool. Nah, rival, appreciate you coming today. Tell them where they can find you on the socials and that.
JUSRIVAL, man. That's me, fam. I'm literally, it doesn't change for nothing, you get me? Or if you just smell the weed in the air, you probably see me local, you get me?
All right, cool. That's a matter of mindset. Done still.
Jeez.